When did you realize he hated you? When he told me I probably liked it when I was being essayed.
What?
After we had sex for the first time, and my first time ever, he got his Bible out and started showing me scriptures about how I was a Jezebel.
He's a sociopath.
He poured ice cold water over my head for squeezing his hand too tight while in hospital as I was having contractions, having his child. My nurse couldn't believe it. We threw him out.
There are men and there are men, like...
When he grabbed me and threw me into the counter 8 months pregnant. Because I wanted to talk about our relationship and he told me to shut up and go in my room.
Yeah.
I didn't listen.
Oh, he's a child. Go in your room? Where's your daddy?
He got mad at me every time I had a seizure. We definitely cannot make this shit up.
So she's supposed to go home when she gets in her seizure, or she's supposed to go...
She's supposed to tell the seizure, no, don't come here.
Yeah, he
Come
wrong.
on here. Excuse me?
Wrong time.
So, one of my rich babes who recommended that I watch the Netflix show Betty Broderick. Baby, this whole video is inspired by your recommendation. Okay, I just got finished watching that entire series. And when I say I was triggered, I was so triggered. I couldn't even make another video until I finished every episode. So that way I can get my emotions together. I was not trying to come on here crying, a cracked voice, or any of those things. Okay? But hey, my rich babes. I'm Bella Dyor. Thank you so much for tuning in. And all to my new rich babes, welcome, welcome. So welcome back to the channel. Today, obviously, we're going to talk about when your man hates you. Again, I recently watched the Broderick's story on Netflix. And let me tell you, again, how triggered I was. I cried because I could relate to Betty's frustration. I've been through the same pain in my own previous marriage. The emotional abuse, the sudden switch up when your man finds somebody else, and feeling of losing everything. It's devastating not having anyone in your corner. Her parents turn their back on her. Some of her friends turn their back on her. Her husband turned her back on her. Some of her kids. I mean, what? But today, I just want to talk about the signs that your man might be hating you, and more importantly, how to walk away and heal instead of ending up like Betty or other women who have faced the same struggles. So if you have not watched it yet, it is still on Netflix. I literally just got finished wiping my eyes, just wiping away the tears, going back in time and remembering why I am now single. And this is why I now understand why my grandmother stayed single after the divorce of my grandfather, because he left and went to another woman after she gave him 8 fucking children. Child, these men. I do want us to take note that this is not the channel where we are bashing men and we hate men. This is not the case, because some of us have sons, I have sons, and this is not the case. I still love men and I still believe that there are good men out here, but I also feel that women need to be more equipped with information and understanding that it is a war out here. And if you're going to step in that lion's pit, you better at least be prepared to understand that getting into a relationship is a risk. And that goes for just any other avenue as well, such as a business, such as starting something new, whatever the case. Anything and everything in life is nothing but a risk. And I just want my rich babes to be prepared. A lot of us wasn't prepared, and that's why we made a lot of mistakes. That's why we have this community, so that way we can uplift each other, share information, have these conversations that that was never allowed or never even taught when we were younger, and then we got into a whole cycle of things. And now that we're older, we have to unlearn and relearn, so that way moving forward we can make better decisions. So let's get into the signs that your man may hate you. Number one, he may become emotionally distant. It starts slow, but one day you realize he's not the man you fell in love with. He's cold, dismissive, and shows no empathy or interest in your emotions or your life. I remember when Betty started having that intuition. She started picking up on it really early on, and that was the beginning for her. Number two, he will gaslight you. Just like Dan did to Betty, he twists everything around, make you feel like you're the one that's crazy, like it's all in your head, and you're always a problem in his eyes. I hated that for her because for years he was cheating on her with his mistress, and she knew it based on her intuition and the way that he was moving, but he kept on insisting that there was nothing going on. Number three, he undermines you in front of others, consistently criticizing or belittling you in public or in private. He attacks your self-worth and makes you feel small. Number four, he's unfaithful and unapologetic. Like, how you cheating and you don't even apologize? The emotional and physical affair with Linda was the final blow for Betty. It's the disrespect, the lack of remorse, and the way he moves on without acknowledging the damage. Like, you just literally gonna cheat on me and like, oh, that's your problem. I cheated on you and that's a your problem thing. Wow. These men have the nerve. And number five, he manipulates the narrative, calling you crazy, a bad mom, saying that you're overreacting. This was Betty's reality. And it can definitely be yours, or it probably once was yours. I know at one point in my life, it was my reality. So when a man shifts the blame onto you constantly, it's a sign he no longer cares. So with that being said, Rych Babes, let's go ahead and get started with the video, and I'll be back at the end with the conclusion of my commentary. This video just might be a little longer than normal. Please bear with me. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the movie, your thoughts on your own experience, or even experience from somebody else. So I would love to hear from you, and let's get started, and I'll see you all soon.
You want to know what's heartbreaking? Watching your man's love for you turn into hate. It is literally one of the most heartbreaking things that you can experience. When suddenly it feels like even the way you breathe aggravates them. They stop handling you with care and consideration, and like even the smallest conversations feel forced. And you can't even remember the last time that he told you he loved you unprovoked. And don't let those memories pop up. And you see the videos of how he used to look at you and love on you, and you realize that y'all haven't been in that space in a very long time. You can literally feel him giving up on you. He's touching you less, kissing you even less. Sex feels like it's just something for him to get off rather than an intimate moment. Literally zero intimacy. It's especially hurtful when you've been nothing but a good woman and they just feel like you no longer serve a purpose in their life. And then when you finally start to realize what you wanted for a lifetime might have only been meant for a season. And that's crazy. And honestly, to me, that's the scariest part about relationships and opening up your heart to somebody. Because the person you love can literally wake up one day and feel completely different. And feel like you're not the person they want to do life with anymore. And that, my friends, is a very, very tough pill to swallow.
Y'all want to know a giveaway to know if your man secretly hates you? He find a way to ruin your birthday. I swear. Go look at the comment, bro. They gonna tell you yourself. I'm not gonna lie to you. He find somehow to make you cry on your birthday. All of a sudden, he got a problem with your outfit. He got to bring up some old shit that y'all had squashed to start an argument. And it's much deeper than what y'all think, bro. It's not a coincidence, I promise. That's a prime example of a man trying to dim your light. A man that doesn't celebrate you, a man that don't congratulate you. He don't want you to achieve your goals or dreams or become better unless his name is attached to it. That man secretly hates you. And he hates you because he envies you. And he envies you because deep down he knows you better than him. And I ain't talking about the niggas that be like, oh yeah, my girl was out my league and I bagged her and she's the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the niggas that know that they can't match the value that their girl bring. She's more disciplined than you. She more brave than you. She more emotionally intelligent. She make more money on us. That breed. Most men, just ego-wise, they can't stand feeling inferior. They hate it. And what you typically see when a woman is with a nigga like that, bro, self-sabotage. Oh, he got to bring you down. He got to shoot your confidence. He got to find ways to make people not see the value in you. And more importantly, not allow you to see the value in yourself.
I want you to hear me clear. Men make decisions based on what is beneficial to them. And a man will stay with you even though he hates you because your presence and labor in his life is beneficial to him, and it will be against his own interest to leave you. Your love, your care, your labor in the home, the way that you take care of the children, the way that having a wife benefits him at work, church, school, whatever the fuck that he has going on, especially a lot of these like high-powered jobs, doctors, lawyers, shit like that. They need a wife because they cannot sustain a life on their own. They are getting free emotional and actual labor from you, and that is why they stay. So they would rather stay and have their interests served and hate you than actually be like, you know what, I actually kind of hate this fucking bitch's guts, and being around her is causing me to feel insecure and causing me to feel stressed out, and this really wasn't a good decision for me, so I'm gonna leave because in good conscience I shouldn't be here taking advantage of this person. No, they're going to take advantage of you until they can find another person to fill those needs. That's why oftentimes when women are diagnosed with terminal illnesses, they're left by themselves. The men move on and find their partner before the woman even passes away. These fucking cancer centers and shit are full of women with their men supporting them. A lot of the women are usually left alone. So you have to ask yourself, if I hated this person, I would leave. So why are they still with me? They're very self-serving people, which I don't necessarily think is a hugely bad thing. I think women can be more self-serving than they are, but men will stay with you and hate your fucking guts because it serves their self-interest. Even if it's down to, I know I can come home and have sex with her sometimes. Or I know I come home mad and she's gonna coddle me and try to see what's wrong. Or I know I can come home and she will help me solve a problem. She'll help me with my business. She'll help me with my business plan. She'll help me study. She'll help me with my schoolwork. Whole time he fucking hates you. You gotta know what the fuck going on, queen.
I don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist or not, but this is kind of common with me too. Because before therapy, I used to do that too. I used to go from being obsessed, wanting to do everything for my wife, do everything with my wife, to like a switch flipping. And then I just like, why am I here? Like, why am I with this person? And it drove her crazy, and it was driving me crazy as well, because I couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with me, because like my emotions would be like obsession, go from obsession to literally like wondering why I was here in this relationship. And our relationship truly struggled because of that, because like she ended up leaving. She left. So she had to remove herself from the situation for her own mental health and her own sake. You know what I mean? And I'm actually glad that she left, because if she wouldn't have left, I wouldn't be who I am right now. I would have never been in therapy. I would have never been talking about mental health disorders. I would have never, I just wouldn't. But let me reiterate, I'm not telling you to leave. I'm just saying that's what she did. Hope this helps.
Just a thought. Are you as a woman operating from the premise that your husband hates you? Like, imagine, before you say, no, I don't think that, think about how we operate. Think about how we are mentally, and think about how we have a tendency to believe that our husbands are doing things to annoy us on purpose, instead of giving grace and understanding that the little things or the things that he's doing that are annoying us are very likely not intentional, right? And I talked about this yesterday on live. I do not think that our husbands are intentionally, like, let's say your husband is the guy that leaves the socks on the floor. I don't think he's doing it to intentionally annoy you. I think it is just something that he has not willed himself to stop doing. So when you see the socks on the floor, instead of being like, this man hates me and that's why he does that, I was talking about how I have these delusional thoughts to keep me from being upset. And it's kind of sarcastic, but it works for me. So like, if that's the case with my husband, and he does like leave clothes and stuff on the floor, but like, I'll in my head the delusional thought of, oh my gosh, he thinks that I'm like the best housekeeper, he loves my laundry services, let me pick this up and put it away. And again, very dark humor, very sarcastic, but you know what it keeps me from doing? Complaining and fussing, right? And there are other examples. Maybe you think that like your husband is not washing the dishes to annoy you, or maybe you think that he's putting the trash out the wrong way to annoy you, right? But I want to offer another perspective. Do we really think that our husbands enjoy when we're annoyed and cranky and fussing at them? When you think about things logically and you stop and be like, there's no way this man is doing these things on purpose. Like the little nuanced things that you find super annoying that your man is doing, he's probably not doing them on purpose, because girl, I'm gonna tell you something else. You're probably not very pleasant when you're unhappy. So why would he be doing those things on purpose? So that's just food for thought today. Like when something happens that annoys you, try to have a little bit more patience and grace and understand that he's not doing it on purpose. He does not want to annoy you. The man wants you to be happy, because when you're annoyed, it's not pretty. I know when I'm annoyed, it's not pretty. So I know when my husband is doing something that's like getting to me, it's not because he's doing it on purpose. And if you can find little versions of humor in there to help you cope, I think that's great. That was just one example for me. But if you can find those, and I don't want to say to help you cope, but I do want to say to help you cope, because what I don't want you to get into the practice of doing, or to continue the practice of doing, is complaining about everything. So like for me, with the socks being on the floor, am I really going to tell him about the socks every time? He don't tell me about the gas when I keep bringing the car home on empty. He don't say nothing. He don't say nothing to me when I spend a little bit too much than I should have. And those are actually like bad things to do. Those are much greater than socks on the floor. But I don't even get mad at myself when I do those things, right? And this is just me being honest and vulnerable and sharing perspective with y'all. Don't take it out of context. Don't take it to situations where it doesn't apply. But again, I think that we as wives all have little situations where we get more annoyed than we should be. And not only do we get more annoyed than we probably should be, but we tend to think that the actions are being done on purpose. And again, another perspective that I would like to offer is, when you find yourself annoying your husband, I know we never do that, right? When you find yourself annoying your husband, are you doing it on purpose? Most of the time you're not. Like when we're overly inquisitive, when we're worrying, when we ask too many questions and the man is tired, he doesn't usually go crazy on us or like get overly worked up in the way that we have a habit of like blowing up. And I know, again, communication styles are different. Men and women are different. I'm just offering you some encouragement this morning. That man is not doing that on purpose. Believe me.
He won't compliment you. People around you, his friends, family, whatever, coworkers will compliment you right in front of him, and he'll just be there like, this bitch and all that. You know what I'm talking about. That's a sign right there that he's a fucking hater. Second, he will get irritated by you very easily. I'm telling you, like, even asking for like, oh, can I get some water? Can you pass me the remote? Little things like that. He'll get so irritated. Give you like a look and act like you're asking him to go, buy you a Rolls Royce. He makes it seem like the smallest thing is a huge favor. That's a sign that he can't stand you. He will put you down, comment on your body, on your physical appearance. Say, oh, you need to lose weight, you need to gain weight. I like girls like this, I like girls like that. Look at this girl, compare you. He will try to break you down. And most likely, if you told him something in private, like a secret, something that you've been through, something dark that you don't want to go through again, like a trauma, he's gonna bring it back. When you guys are arguing, he's gonna use it against you, and it's not gonna be pretty. He's gonna act jealous. And I mean jealous, like not with other men, jealous, like envy you and your goals that you reach or want to achieve. He is going to try to copy you, or he's going to try to stop you from doing that so you can grow. He's going to try to keep you in a box and small because he's jealous of you. He envies you and he can't stand you. He wants to be you, probably. I don't know the way these are acting like bitches nowadays. It's so weird.
So can we talk about when you're actually worthy and a man falls in love with you, so he makes you his enemy because he doesn't want to feel inferior to you because you have so much power over him through the power of love that you kind of remind him of the power that his mom has over him, so you trigger all of his past traumas when he's a child. So everything that he does is to self-sabotage a relationship and the love that he has for you, so he can prove to himself that he's a man without you and that he's happier without you when he's really not.
A man who makes your life harder than it was before he walked into it probably hates you. There are no masculine men out there who want to make the lives of the women that they love harder than it needs to be. If he's abusive and talking down on you, he probably hates you. If he's a financial burden and plays video games all day.
Ladies, I'm going to put y'all on game. How a man speaks to you is a direct reflection of how he feels about you. So if that man is always arguing with you, or he seems to call you out your name, or demeans you, or tries to belittle you, or make you feel smaller than what you actually are, then that means that he actually hates you and he doesn't really value the relationship. He doesn't really want to be with you. Y'all think that the toxic behaviors that these men display means that it's tough love and that he actually cares about you, when in actuality, that's not it at all. No man that actually loves you and cares for you and appreciates you would try to make you feel like you are less than what you actually are. Even in arguments, he would be the first one to apologize, even if he did nothing wrong at all. And the harsh reality is, majority of the time, when a guy is treating you like this, that means that he is entertaining or talking to another girl, or he's actually cheated on you already. Guys don't just act like this out of nowhere. They act like this when they're no longer attracted to their woman. Even though he may not be personally attracted to you anymore, will not stop him from leading you on. But y'all stay safe though.
One of the smartest things I've ever said is that if a man resents you for the way that you are because of his actions and how they have affected you, it's because he'll always hold you to the standard of the person that you were when you first met him. Like if you were bubbly and full of life and super charismatic and happy, and he did things to sort of fuck up your mental state and, you know, make you miserable and codependent and anxious, and he'll always hold you to that standard and then resent you for it. But it's like, dude, you did this to me. Like, that is so fucked. It's so fucked.
Do you know what's terrifying about men? I'm only now just learning about. Men, I mean insecure men, will date a girl that they already know is out of their league and be so jealous over it that he will try to ruin her life. I'll explain. A lot of times men will see your worth and your potential way before you do. And if they see a glimmer of something in you, something that they themselves are lacking in, the opportunities you have, maybe you're really ambitious, you have a sweet personality, it can even just be your aura. If you're one of those girls and you walk in a room and you're magnetic and you get attention, babe, they hate it. So when they see all that in you, they are going to try to crush all of it. They will try to ruin your confidence, keep trying to diminish all of your achievements. They will keep trying to humble you, especially if there's an audience. They'll just do anything to try and minimize you and bring you down, because taking you down a couple pegs is the only way he can make himself feel like he's equal to you or above you. One sec, I need to fix this blush. So if you've ever dated a guy and wondered why he was treating you bad when you didn't deserve it, he's probably just mad jealous of you, girl. I feel like this is definitely what was happening to me in my last situation, and my dumb ass didn't even realize. So I was modeling the time that I was seeing this guy, and it's so weird. I feel like this guy liked the validation of being able to say to his homeboys he was with a model. Meanwhile, on the low, like, he almost resented me for it. I mean, like, he would bring up other girls from my agency, just trying to minimize my career. For no reason. I'm not even joking. Sometimes this guy would try and compare and compete with me on how much money we were making. This guy would tell me how much money he'd made. Unprovoked, by the way. Didn't ask. Then he'd be like, well, how much money did you make then? I bet you didn't make that much. First of all, you are a white male. With all that privilege you got, I would kind of hope you were making more than me. And also, why is it a competition? So weird. So when my TikTok had first started growing, I never ever mentioned it. He had looked me up or whatever and found my account, and literally off rip, he got so weird about it. Out of nowhere, he was like, I just hate girls that are obsessed with likes and followers. My ex never had any social media. Okay. He used to do like impressions of me, make fun of my videos. One time, out of nowhere, he was like, what, do you think you're sick because you've got 50k followers? No. I don't think I'm sick because I've got 50k. You think I'm sick because I've got 50k. Because I don't be bringing it up. you do. I feel like he just didn't like the fact that I had something cool going for myself. So obviously he just had to tear it down. Fast forward to when I started dating somebody new. When this guy found out about my TikTok, I was like, right, I can help you do a content plan if you want. Guy got me filming equipment, was sending me the contact for brands he thought I'd be good to collab with. Now that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, moral of the story. A guy that is secure in himself and in what he has going on, he's gonna move accordingly. A secure guy is gonna be thrilled at the thought of you doing well, not threatened.
When this man tried to downplay my motherfucking master's degree, that shit turned me off all the fucking way. He was talking about something, and I had said something about, while I'm talking to you, Y-O-U. He said, oh, I'm surprised you can spell. I said, well, damn, don't drop dead, Fred, when you find out I can get my fucking master's. He said, oh, they must be giving it out to anybody. I said, if they give it out to anybody, then why don't you have one yet? He said, oh, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I'm not like you. I can't afford that. I said, well, clearly they're not giving it to any and every fucking body because it's not in everybody's tax bracket, correct? It's from what you saying. Like, I don't know about y'all, but playing with my motherfucking achievements, making it seem like what I'm achieving is fucking easy and everybody can fucking do it. No, I do not think everybody can get their master's in fucking biology. No, I do not think a lot of people know how to name and fucking draw amino acids. So I'm sorry if that's something I'm not gonna let you fucking play with me about. So the last thing I'm gonna let anybody do is play me about a motherfucking degree that you bitches couldn't even possibly spell. Okay? Okay. Just saying.
Stop normalizing your husband hating you. Stop it. I see a handful of videos every single day of women on this app and the other being silly, being goofy, being themselves, and their husbands having just fucking disdain for them. And it's visible. I can see it, you can see it, she can see it, and it's just this like, ha ha ha, my husband finds me so annoying. No. If my husband is not obsessed with me, 99% of the time, I won't have him. Your spouse should not openly dislike your personality. They should not openly be annoyed by you. Like, yes, am I annoyed by my husband sometimes? Sure. But 99% of the time, I look at that man like he is the most prized possession in the world. And I 1,000% expect him to look at me the same way. If you ever catch my husband on camera looking at me the way some of these husbands look at their wives, divorce. Divorce immediately. Stop normalizing your husband openly hating you.
So part one about why your possible narcissistic husband or whatever blames you for everything. Because it's way easier for a narcissist, possible narcissist, whatever, to blame you than it is for a narcissist to take accountability for anything. Because as long as I continue to put the blame onto you, then I can make an excuse for myself with anything. I can blame you for why I'm not as far as I need to be in life. I can blame you for why I haven't achieved the goals I wanted to achieve, or why I haven't achieved the dreams I wanted to achieve, or why I'm not going to the gym as much. I can blame you for literally everything, and I can have that excuse for the rest of my life as long as you stay with me. And the part about him hating you, woo, he probably hates the good in you. He probably hates how people react to you. He probably hates how you are around people. You're probably brighter and more light and more fun around other people than you are with him. And he probably really, really hates you as well because he's blaming you for everything. And if he can continue to blame you, he hates you because you're holding him back. Get unstuck, whatever it takes.
Now I found out that the boy that I was talking to hated my existence. Just like anybody else, there was the honeymoon phase. Of course, everything was good, everything was nice. And then the 2 to 3 week mark came. First of all, he will always bail on our plans. And when he bails on our plans, he will tell me at the lastest minute possible. Yes, I said lastest. I need you people to understand. I'm already fully dressed, makeup done, hair done, looking nice, smelling good. And I'll get a call. I don't even get a call. I'm tripping. I have to reach out at the last second like, hey, like, what time are you going to be on the way? And then this is his response. Oh, we're not going no more. Oh, that's dead. You need to die. You're dead. Now, when he cancels, he doesn't try to make it up, or even tell me the reason why he canceled. Number 2, he never really initiated anything. And even if he initiates something, it will probably be to come to his house, which is, there's no problem with it, but Like sometimes when he bails on me, I'm like, okay, you know what, I can come over and we can just chill, you know, on some chill-ish. Like I don't require too much. Now that I think about it, maybe that was the plan because you don't want to spend money outside when you take me out. Yay. Another reason why I knew that he hated me is because he never really celebrated my successes for real, for real. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I leave? I will tell you exactly why. I want to tell you guys, this man was my type to the T. I'm talking to the T. My type. So he was honestly just giving eye candy. You know what I mean? Which is shallow, yes, I understand. But like the first few weeks we started talking, he was not acting like this at all. Let me tell you guys how we started. The first few weeks, I was his lock screen. We were going to sleep on the phone. Everything. I was love bomb. Oh, bomb me. But one light, oh, bomb me. Oh, bomb me. Like this man became cold-hearted. I know some of you in the comments are probably going to be like, oh, but why didn't you leave from the beginning? Yo, he was never like that. Now, I'm not going to act like a saint. When he did piss me off and cancel our plans, I definitely made plans with somebody else the next day, and I did not care. Because the canceling thing was back to back to back. Every single weekend, he would cancel on me. I couldn't take it anymore. And then we ended up getting into an argument one day, and he really opened his mouth to verbally tell me that he hates me. And then I was like, I knew it. Yeah, guys, that's really how I found out that the boy I was talking to hated me. I feel like I left out some more detail, but like, maybe when I find my journal, I'll be able to tell the story properly. But I was just like, let me just give people a little bit of tea. If you want to see more of this, go ahead and follow me. Yeah.
Ever been in a relationship and one day everything is good and then the next day for the rest of forever that person treats you like they absolutely hate you? I'm going to share something with you that I learned from a psychologist who studied human behavior for over 30 years. When there's still love on the table like that and people suddenly magically without a reasonable cause act like they hate you, what's actually going on is they're creating a state of psychosis or a delusion in their head that you're this big evil villain so they can have the strength to walk away and overpower that love that wants to make them stay and work on it. And additionally, there's usually only two reasons that someone would do it. The first reason is because they are a narcissist and they're trying to starve you of closure so they can keep you on the hook so they can come back in and out of that door anytime they feel like it and further cause you emotional damage. The second reason is that your partner simply does not have the emotional maturity to either handle the issues that you've been having in your relationship and move past them, or they don't have the emotional maturity to handle those conversations and walk away shaking hands, wishing you the best. So instead, they resort to creating this psychosis or delusion in their head that you're a horrible person so they can have the strength to walk away. And just so you understand, the reason they're treating you that way is because that is them convincing themselves that you are horrible. If I treat this person horribly, well, they must be horrible. And they genuinely are able to convince themselves of that because they're so scared of the accountability it takes to end a relationship on good terms when there's still love on the table. And I gotta say, I feel for Tyrese and the things he said in that statement. If you want to break a man, that's how you break a man right there. Treat him like he's the worst human being ever when he's done nothing but try to love you. And there's really no reasonable explanation for it.
I kind of wanted to share my version of when your boyfriend starts hating you trend. So my boyfriend and I, ex-boyfriend and I, were in a 7-year relationship. And over time, we were just growing apart, like things were not going well, we weren't happy. So whenever I would bring it up, he would just immediately be like, we've been together this long, I'm sorry, I'll try harder, blah, blah, blah. But when that happens, when you're bringing up the issues in the relationship, you're the nagger, you're the problem, you're the one seeking an issue to fight, whatever. This is the one night that I was just like, you hate my guts. We were sitting there watching the Ozarks, which was one of our favorite shows at the time. Sorry, that's my dog. It was so bad at this point that we were sitting on opposite sides of the couch. He didn't want to touch me, he didn't want to cuddle with me, whatever. Anyway, for my friends, they know I'm a very dramatic, I'm expressive, and especially in my own home, I'm gonna yell or scream at the TV when it's my favorite show. Anyway, I go on, there's a scene on, and I immediately just gasped really loud. And he's like, shut up. It was just so instant. It was like, shut up. And before I even turned my head, I'm pretty sure tears were spilling. I immediately turned off the TV and just ran to like our room at the time and just started bawling. Anyway, now it's kind of haunted me where now when I go on dates and I'm expressive or dramatic, just myself, they're like, oh, it's so cute. Or I'm just like, are you gonna hate me for that later? Are you gonna, it haunts me now. But There's my version of when your boyfriend starts hating you trend. When they start hating you, believe them. When your partner starts showing you they hate you or don't like you or say shit like that, telling you to shut up, believe them. Leave.
So, Rych Babes, I know it's easier said than done, but you don't have to end up like Betty. You don't have to let his manipulation, lies, and emotional abuse destroy your life. Here are some ways to help you just walk away and heal. Number one, recognize the signs early. Don't wait until it gets to a breaking point. If you see these signs, acknowledge them and don't make any excuses for him. Number two is get some type of support. Find people who love you, who can support you through this process, whether it's a therapist, your family, or a close friend. Just don't isolate yourself. Number three is protecting your peace. Once you've made the decision to leave, protect your mental health, your energy at all costs. Do not let him drag you into his toxicity or pull you back in. Number four is visualize a new life. I cried watching Betty because we can all relate to her. Seeing the different path of her life that she could have taken if she just walked away, if she just healed instead of letting her hatred for Dan consume her. Imagine the life you could have after leaving that man behind. A life filled with peace, love, and success. Number five is take legal precautions. Betty was blindsided in so many ways legally. Make sure that you protect your assets, your children, and your future. Don't let his power or manipulation trap you. I was happy to see that she did do her best with journaling and she did try her best to reach out, but she just couldn't tap in the way that she needed to walk away. When I saw Betty's story, I couldn't help but reflect on my own marriage. I understand how it felt to hear a man gaslight you and make you feel like you're the one that's crazy and strip you away of everything that you built together. But I also realize now that my peace, my sanity, and my life are worth more than staying in a toxic situation. Betty didn't deserve what happened to her. She wasn't a bad mother or a crazy woman. Dan literally broke her down. And if you are in that situation, I want you to know that you deserve better too. You deserve healing and happiness. Don't wait for the moment of no return. So, to all of my Rych Babes out there, if you're dealing with a man who hates you, who disrespects you, or who has emotionally checked out of a relationship, please take the steps to protect yourself and your future. You have the power to walk away and to rebuild your life, just like I did. Don't let anyone make you feel like don't deserve peace or happiness. And as always, thank you all so much. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel, who has been buying digital products from Rych Milan Co, and just glowing up on their rich girl journey. Please continue to recommend any shows and movies. I am so thankful that you guys recommended this show. I was so inspired and I was so grateful that I was able to have the strength to just walk away. There were times that I could have ended up like Betty, and again, we can just all relate. So let's continue to glow up and prioritize our peace over anyone who tries to tear us down. I love you all, and if you want to read about my story and how I was able to overcome so many trials and tribulations in my first 28 years of life, my memoir is located on Amazon. It's called Damaged Goods, and the link is also down below. All right, my Rych Babes, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next time. Stay rich.